My name's Owen Pettiford. I'm an SAP mentor in the BPX space. So interested in all things that try and bring the geeks and the suits together. I'm also the co-CEO of a company called CompriseIT, and we specialise in the design, development and deployment of composite applications, exploiting SAP's composition environment. And that's how we know RS Components. We've worked with them on a journey from initial ideas about how this thing might add some value to now at the position where we're reaping some of the fruits of that work. One piece of advice is don't assume that composition's going to replace everything you do today. Some of the ways you're solving problems today are perfectly reasonable. So take the portfolio of things you need to achieve and rank them and score them against whether they're suitable for composition. And I think the other key thing that has been a big success for RS Components is they bought the software with 3 specific pilot composites that they wanted to develop. There was a momentum to, we'll get the software, we'll get it installed, we know we want to prove these things within this environment. They weren't high risk, but they were things that if it can do these things, then we can see that this can scale and be used. And that momentum has really meant that the adoption of composition has been much, much quicker than sort of buying it on a sort of architectural, it looks nice kind of way, and then figuring out what you might do with it. The most comprehensive application we've helped RS develop is their customer investment manager. It utilizes all of the components within the composition environment. We can create a user interface within the composition environment that pulls all that information together and then guides people through a wizard to create their discount. We then use Adobe Forms to generate the customer agreement. So we need to have a nice customer agreement, so we have an Adobe form. So that's all good stuff. We need some data, so we're storing some data about what discounts do we have, how much was the discount, what's the status of the discount. We're also calling out to services. And then the last piece of the puzzle is the BPM process, so and the rules engine. So once I submit my discount for approval, we call some rules from the rules engine, and the process figures out what level of authority is required to authorize that discount, and then that runs through and then updates the ERP system once that's been approved or it gets rejected. The composite applications are a very broad church. They can range from the very simple, just reskinning and simplifying a single transaction, through to applications that can have tens or tens of business objects, hundreds of screens, and processes that have got say hundreds of steps. So the composition environment can do all of those things. So I think for me it comes back down to, is there a business case behind things? Composite applications still need to have a business case. What is it you're trying to make better, faster, quicker, more flexible? And if it's got a business case, then you can create a composite application for it. I think BPM is ready for prime time. And I think the thing that makes it ready for prime time in the context of SAP's composition environment is that it's not just BPM. So the composition environment has a tool within it called BPM, and it has some other tools. And those tools work together to enable you to create real applications. People who aren't adopting this technology now and talking to their customers about it are, they're not showing customers what the full scope of what SAP can provide is. They're living in a world where they're doing what they've done for the last 20 years, and not embracing a new tool that adds a level of flexibility for that last whether it's 15-20% of applications. So if they're still adopting and solving those problems the way they did 10 years ago, then I think they're missing a trick and not serving the customers as well as they can be served.